Hello, everyone, and welcome to my first live on YouTube. What a day it's been. Um, the date is now January the 21st, and this is my second upload to YouTube today, and my first live, and the second time I was guided to share something here today. In a way, I feel like I've been guided here, sort of, to explain myself and what any of you who have watched the video from earlier today, I'll link it down below in the description box. What any of you may have, for those of you who watched, what that was all about. So I'm going to take another sip of water here. And the cardinals, of course, are going crazy up my tree. So I feel divinely guided and supported in sharing with you in this way. And the heart centered intention is to share more of the messages I receive direct from Source to all of you over the coming days. So, for those of you who have watched the video that was put out earlier today, I wasn't sure if I was going to put it out because I was all up in my human self, worried about my hair and um, what I was wearing, and you know, just really allowing myself to be seen authentically on this channel on camera. And it was a big leap, and yet it feels completely supported and exactly what I am meant to be here at this time in 2022 in the form that is called Lisa Diane Lyle, and the ways in which I am guided to share with those of you who are guided to cross paths with me. So this morning, I was getting ready, setting myself up to write uh, because I am in the process of getting my first book um, written and getting it out there. And it's been a very quick process, and it will be a very quick turnaround. So, with any luck, the first book that I'm writing will be out within the next month or two. That's how quickly it's coming through. It's nothing like I imagined that it would be. It's in fact messages direct from source. And I have been giving a working title for that book. I don't feel guided to share it here with you now. In the big scheme of things, it is an offering from my heart to yours. It's a gift to humanity. And we are at a really pivotal and exciting turning point. The tides are turning in favor of the children of light who are incarnate in the flesh on the planet at this time. And I know that sounds all like I know there's maybe many of you who are listening to this and especially and probably in particular people who know me who are going, okay, she's completely she's completely off of her rocker this time. And in fact, I'm not. I'm completely sane and stabilized through my heart center, and it's been a long time. Um, since I've felt this way, and it's been a long time in coming, and I have actually earned this place where I sit today. So, as I was getting ready to start typing out more of my book this morning, there was this strong, strong presence that of source, which is always around spirit, my higher self, my loved ones in spirit, my eternal beloved in spirit was so close. And I received a message to go on live, like to go and record live. They wanted me to go live, and I didn't. Yet I did follow the guidance. I heeded the strong suggestions I was receiving, and I recorded through my own laptop here, with not sure whether it was going to be shared. Anyways, it was shared. And what many of you will have seen if you've watched that, and like I said, if you haven't, I will copy a link down below, you would have seen my wild hair, and I feel what you would have seen was the heart that was present in that moment. And when I am in the flow, channeling, if you will, or when I am allowing myself to be that channel of source code, source light, divine, things happen to my body without my it's not a conscious thing, so I don't start like moving from side to side. And I know in the video this morning I was like moving back and forth almost like a pendulum. And this is how I clear and move energies through me in support of the collective of humanity. So there's that. You will also notice that you may not notice, but I did have to take my feet substantially apart and really get grounded in the moment to allow for myself to settle and feel stable in sharing, because my heart was racing. It was quite a step outside of my comfort zone to allow myself to be seen authentically in that way as a pure child of light, source light, divine. And I'm really feeling strongly guided that this is something I am being called to do every day. So to come here on YouTube live every day, I'm not sure yet when it will start or what time of day. I really have to sit and figure that out with respect to management of my time within each day. Yet this is something on the table going forward. I just want to say thank you to all who have been supporting me over the last 10 years here on YouTube and on my Facebook community, Wisdom of the Heart. It was 10 years ago today. I just realized that I was guided to start and create that space. I had no idea where it was going to lead, nothing like that. And I was given the name at the time, Wisdom of the Heart. And what I was shown at that time when I received the name Wisdom of the Heart was a compass over top of my very own heart. And I received the message that this is what is and was the intended compass for humanity through this lifetime. And through, they're saying now, through the trauma um, timelines and bloodlines. So what I'm feeling and what I have been receiving through automatic writing is that 2022 is truly an exciting year for the collective of humanity. It may not feel like that. I mean, I currently live in one of the most regimented, extreme countries in the world, and within that country, one of the most extreme provinces. It's absolute insanity. And just saying that can get you in a lot of trouble these days, which is even more insane. And I really, one of the messages that came through right before I started to come, before I came live here today, was that the voice of righteousness is rising. And it's truly our time to speak and share from our heart through our experience, supporting others to be courageous enough to trust the wisdom that resides within their very own hearts. What do I have here? Some of the other things, there's so many things. I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin. I'm not quite sure. I think partly the human Lisa Lyle wanted to come here today to say, hey, look, I'm not a crazy lady. But hey, maybe I'm just revealing myself to be. And yet I feel so much excitement for all of us. Some of the things, many of my reasons for holding myself back in sharing authentically is that I have a strong, and have for my entire life, a strong and close connection with our brother Jesus Christ. Jesus the Christ. And through that connection, I have been taught so much, and I have been guided through that connection to remember so much of the inner innate knowing that we were each born with. And so for me, that knowing has been flowing through in writing my writings for the past 3, 4 decades of my life. And I have a couple boxes of journals, which I really feel are, again, um, letters from God, love letters from God, letters, um, messages from Source, conversations with God, a lot of question, and I will pose a question and I will receive an answer that comes through in a completely different way of writing. And so I really feel that I'm being called to step out of the shadows. I survived. I survived. I made it. And it was 11:11 just now. And 11:11, I received a message for that too, because at the same time as working on a book, I'm also creating another deck of cards, and I'm using my eternal beloved who has now transitioned home to spirit. I'm using his photography, photos he took of nature, and channeled messages through on those cards. So there's a lot going on in my personal experience, and it's all very exciting. And I feel like a big part of the reason I'm guided to share with you is to get you excited about life again, too. Because if we wait for permission to be excited, it'll be 2025. And we'll still be waiting for permission to live our lives. And that's not the way it goes this time around. And in fact, those of us who are feeling the call to rise, who are feeling the call of righteousness from inside, who are feeling the presence of our dear brother Jesus the Christ around us and within us, we are called. We are being called at this time, regardless of how frightened we may feel about stepping out and sharing the real deal from our heart. It's time. It's actually time, and it's the most divinely supported time. So, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! We are now in 2022, as I said, and 2022 is a universal 6 year. And recently, and it's just look at, and it's just turned to 3:33 and 12:55 there. Um, Six, the my understanding of the number six has changed very much over the years. I used to view it a lot as my familiar because it is the home of Virgo, the sixth house, health, family, home, particularly health of the physical vessel. In recent years, I have come to understand six being our path of divine service in this lifetime. And so I feel in this year of 2022, which is truly about unity, the collective of humanity coming together as one. Never mind those who want to limit and control us and confine us to our homes. This is not. This is not in accordance with universal wisdom and the natural order of things. Because in truth, one of the messages that continues to come through, we are divine royalty, the kings and queens, the knights and ladies of integrity. Uh, that's what came through this morning. Truth tellers living in the light of living in the persecution of the dark controllers, here to resurrect the light of the Christ from within us, from within our beating human heart. Another thing that came through, and I'm not a biblical person. Anybody who knows me, I don't prescribe to religion in any way, shape, or form. I have been exposed in this lifetime to a variety of dominations, of religious, I want to say religious sects. That's sects, SECTS. That's what I'm hearing right now. I have been exposed to a number of them from the United Church of Canada, which is just a baby under the blanket of the Roman Catholic Church of Canada, I guess. I've also gone to some Pentecostal and Baptist services. Hey, anywhere there where there's music and clapping and praising, I'm all good. I've never prescribed to any one particular religion. I have always personally identified as a spiritual being, a child of light. Um, and that was just the way I was born. I believe we were all born that way, perfectly divine. So, a part of what has kept me from sharing a lot, well, never mind a part of what, a big part, the last 10 years of my life, from 2012, 2010, pretty much, was, the human nightmare I had to walk through and live through. Uh, and I have, and I've come through the other side. And during that time, really was just fighting, struggling to survive. And as I said, obviously, I am surviving. And now it's time for all of us to open and receive our ability to thrive through integrity, through being the righteous voice that does not divide, only seeks to unite and unify the collective of humanity, which is fragmented and fractured terribly at this time. I was guided today through my daily readings to and seeing the number 1111 today. Uh, 1111 in the book of Revelations. I don't know what it says. I have no idea what it says. What I was guided to write, 1111 Revelations, meek will inherit the earth through the mother energy. Um, and through this, all is restored to source through us. Um, okay, so all is restored through the mother. And then they had me draw this. Okay, so I know 666, but 69, 69, 69. So flipping it, I know, don't go there. It's not about that. Again, it just shows how we've all been conditioned. And, I have a teenager. And for years, these little kids have been laughing and giggling at it with no true awareness. So, anyways, I'm giggling here too. So 666. And so the nine is the completion. We are flipping this condition that 666 is some um, bad. We've been conditioned to believe there's a bad connotation attached to it. And yet when we flip it on the head, and even if we look at it, if I had done these more uniform, we would see that the six and the nine fit into each other, right? It's like the yin and the yang. That's exactly what I saw when I was writing that. I saw that yin and yang symbol, with the black side and the white side, and then the alternate colors in the middle. This is what I was seeing when I wrote that. So this 2022 is a year to really unify through the heart. Each of us must take personal responsibility and do our healing work in our lives and take action and clean up accordingly. And then, as we then become better able to be of service to humanity as we came to do. And to be the voice of righteousness, the voice of love, the voice of reason that we came to be. You don't have to like me. You don't have to agree with me. All that is asked is that you feel and receive through your open, healing heart and your open mind that is deprogramming and deconditioning yourself through the heart. Okay. Um, so, what I do know is that I do believe somebody who may be a religious scholar can correct me on this, but I believe there were 33% of God's angels fell, right? The fallen angels. And then 66%, which brings us to 99%, right? Those nines and sixes. But that 66% stayed connected to source. And so when I was writing that down today, I wrote 33% fell, source 66%. And then I was guided to put an arrow. This is how things work when source comes through. And then I was guided to put an angel. Is this is restored to source through us, through the Christed. So it's almost as if through those 33 angels that fell to the earth, that disconnected from source, that walked away, turned away from source, and came and really kind of like cast a spell over humanity, if you will. This is us. We are being called to recognize that we too have fallen. Many of us have veered well off the path of purity and innocence that we wandered and joyfully wandered throughout our childhood. So the 33% of the falling is restored to source through us. We were stolen. Our consciousness, the consciousness of humanity has been stolen from the 33%. And we have been conditioned and fed a lot through that number of the 33%. Even our dear brother, Jesus the Christ, is believed to have lived for 33 years before he became the sacrificial lamb at the time of the crucifixion. And I have lots of information that has come through on that, not of my own, again, through my heart and the inner knowing. So that will be shared at a later time. Um, so instead of us walking along, blindly reciting and repeating the conditioned, the programmed beliefs about who we are, it is really time that we remember. And we've heard a lot of talk about the Great Awakening, the Great Reset, which isn't happening the way the elite demonic forces would like to see it go. It is truly what I am receiving, the great remembering of the kings and queens, the children of light, the sons and daughters of delight who were born here now to live their absolute best life without fear, without all this lunacy that has been permeating the hearts and minds of the collective of humanity, very obviously in the last 2.5 years, less obviously for the last few generations. Okay. So and again, what I received and what I'm guided to share here is that religion was created as a way to control humans. Yes. Okay. Religion was a way was created as a way to control humans and to give the 33% um, power, shift the power, if you will, to the 33%, the demons. And if we look at any of these elite societies, that number 33 is a big one for them, right? 33rd degree, whatever. It's a lot of 33s. And so if we can remember when we see the 33, that it is our divine destiny to be the resurrection of the light of Christ in this lifetime. Okay? Because what we see right now externally is a house of paper money falling in on itself, eating itself from the inside out, eating their own young. Love has won. So the demons are falling in upon and within themselves and it's a trap, and they have been trapped, and they will not recover from this, because once we have seen, we are not able to go back to sleep. And we are called, because we hide within ourselves as well, right? We our own demons, that stuff we don't want to share with anyone. Uh, the magic, the wonder, the things that we judge ourselves about, we hold that within, and it just eats us up from the inside out, right? So we must purge, we must clear, we must cleanse the demons out of us through divinely guided action, through prayer and meditation, through personal responsibility in our daily life. And this is what 2022 is about for all of us, for all of you who are watching this video now or whenever you're watching it. Because the truth is, when it comes to the eternal, past, present, future, all is now, messages from Source are ageless and eternal. They do not change. Perhaps the way they are delivered and the vessel through which they're delivered changes, yet the messages in essence do not change. That is one thing I have learned through my experience of channeled writing for the last 3 decades. So I feel like that's really all we're going to see. I'm just shuffling some shaman oracle cards here for us now, and see if anything wants to come out. Let me know in the comments below if daily coffee talk, daily tea time, not tea as in gossip and that kind of stuff, daily tea time as in getting in touch with our own divine truth and who we are, is something you would be interested in. I'm feeling that it is something I'm being strongly guided to offer. And so, because of it offers support. So the message on this card is support. And I just love this because we've got some of my favorites. I have 2 of these 3 insects tattooed on my body. And, every time I connect with dragonflies, I always hear bringers of light. And for years and years, dragonflies look so prehistoric, right? And some of them are so freaking massive when they're coming at you. It's like um, a I don't know, a spaceship coming right at you. And for years, as I've been connecting with the dragonflies, I have been hearing ancient bringers of life. Galactic wisdom flows through Source to the heart of all, open and willing to receive, all open and willing to transform through, I'm hearing integrity, through a willingness to be transparent and be honest with who and what you are, and to share your truth with another. Because in truth, we are all in this together. We all are not the same. We don't have the same feelings. We don't have the same, we don't receive messages the same way. And yet, at the heart of the matter, what I do know to be eternally true is all divine souls seek only to be and express love, to be and receive love in equal measure. And that journey begins with ourselves. And so until we're ready to face ourselves, we are going to stumble and falter. And that's okay as long as we get back up and start doing it again. And 2022 is a year that many of you will be called to the forefront to begin to share and speak your truth, to begin to share your gifts in a more expansive and supportive way, not just for you, for the collective heart of humanity, which is now crying out to be seen, to be heard, to be acknowledged as the worthy and valuable emanation of the Christed light here incarnate at this time. And that's why I've been resistant to speak. I remember when I started the Wisdom of the Heart page 10 years ago, this message has never, like, it's never changed. I've always believed that we are here to resurrect the Christ within, and this is how Jesus saves. And the second coming of the Christ is through our remembrance. And again, I don't know what the Bible says. I don't even believe I've read the whole thing end to end, book through book. So somebody who's familiar with the Bible may know what better, where that comes from, may be able to explain it better. I'm just sharing from this divine human's perspective and the inner knowing that I have no idea how I know, I just know. And it doesn't change. And yet, when I allow it to flow, I find that it's incredibly supportive, not just for myself, for those who are open and able to receive it. Oh, this is so perfect. And this is going to be where we end it for today. This is so perfect because I am heading out to the earth. And the words on this card, or the word on this card, is nurture. You know, we've all been through a lot. Let's face it. We have all been through a lot. And we have, in our human experience, we have felt heartbroken. We have felt heart sick. We have felt disconnected, discombobulated. We have felt abandoned by source, and many of us through human experience, through the breakdown of the nuclear family, if you will, mom, dad, and children. We have all been shattered into a million little pieces. I think there was a book called that, A Million Pieces, A Million Little Pieces. And so here now, and through our connection to dear Mother Gaia, our ascending home planet in this lifetime, through our connection to Gaia, to Source, we begin to unfurl. We begin, you know what they're just showing me? Have a fiddlehead? Uh, it's an East Coast delicacy here in Canada. I love them. It's like a fern, but there are edible fiddleheads. Not all ferns are edible. Bye. Bye. Bye, Kimberly. Uh, we are, thank you, Bernadette. I love you, and your heart is beautifully open. You have been a great support. I'm just going to say this here now. You have been a great support to me and my son over these last few years. And for that, I am eternally grateful. So thank you, Bernadette, and thank you for being here. But what they're showing me here with this imagery here is like the fiddlehead unfurling, the fern unfurling, and it's this tight little spiral, this coil, and then it opens up, and all the growth comes off of the stems, if you will, and this beautiful growth. Through our connection to nature, we're healed. Let me see if I can show you out here. You may not be able to see it, but we have got like so much snow, so much snow here, and that big blue spruce, which I absolutely love. But getting outside, getting out into nature, as a Canadian. Oh, oh, okay, Kim, I thought you were leaving us. I'm like, geez, that's why. Anyways, thank you for being here. And thank you for sharing your heart. Honestly, Kimberly, I'm so grateful for all the support and all the connections in the here and now, because this is what we need. And this is what the last few years upon this planet, this captured planet, which is now free. We've always been free. It's up to you and me, the individual divine human, to stand up, to speak, to share. And it's not always pretty, and it's often messy, and it's going to likely get more so through the through the winter and spring of this year, 2022. And I feel personally a lightening um, in and around the time of May. Okay, until then, fortify. And fortify was a word I received last spring, and I was sharing on. the Wisdom of the Heart page and here on YouTube whenever I was guided to share, which hasn't been much. So, anyways, back to Earth. We are here to nurture ourselves back to health, divine health, to restore integrity to the divine soul print within our beating heart. And we have been bombarded for generations with all kinds of stuff, like even this foolishness. $1,000 worth of handheld technology. Everyone's walking around with one. Yet most people, and I witnessed this with the big snowfall, most people don't even help their neighbor. Most don't even know their neighbor's name, and that's a really sad commentary on the soul sickness that is rampant across this planet. And gratefully now, at this time of great of the great resurrection, if you will, of the lighted children, one with source, uh, honoring the path and doing the courageous and noble righteous work of healing your very own heart. We can't heal anyone else. Even as a healer, as someone who offers healing to the world, I can only do so much. And then the torch is passed or the baton is passed to those who receive or who are on the receiving ends of any healing transmission that moves through me, that flows through me. So I don't take responsibility for anything. Like I don't take a credit, honestly, for anything I do except suiting up and coming here and speaking to you, suiting up and going to my computer and typing out my book. The rest of the credit of my life goes truly to Source, to God. There's a reason I'm still alive today. There's many instances throughout my lifetime that really, by the grace of God, I lived through it. And most recently, in 2021, less than a year ago. And there's never been any doubt in my mind uh, that I woke up on a particular day last year for a very specific reason. And it's taken me the last 10 months or so, really focused on my healing, really focused on my home life, getting things together, um, bringing, uh, getting all my tools, setting myself up so that I can go forth and do what I have known for a very long time that I was here to do, which is to share in a very authentic, very human way, um, highly spiritual way with all of you. Our healing is our responsibility. And as we heal our heart and as we take responsibility for our heart through that act of self love, we support the healing of the hearts of humanity, of the fractured heart of humanity, because in truth, our hearts don't break. Our hearts don't break. They don't break down. When our heart stops beating, that's it. The meat suit is done, folks. That's all she wrote. For this particular human experience. Is it all she wrote in the big scheme of things? Absolutely not, because every single thing we do in the here and now has a lasting impact, a lasting effect with respect to the journey of our eternal soul. Because remember, energy does not die. It changes form and continues to grow. And so what I do know through and from my very deeply human experience is that love is the reason we're here. Love begins within us. Love is not fear. Love does not fear being seen, being felt, being heard. We can, through being open channels and being very sensitive, highly sensitive, divine human beings, we can be scared into hiding, be scared into the shadows, to not really allow ourselves to be seen. Fear of being seen because what will people say? They're all going to mock me. They may laugh at me. Well, at the end of the day, your journey as an eternal soul has never been about between you and them, or between you and I, or between us and anyone. Our journey at the beginning and at the end of this physical lifetime is the journey of our eternal soul connected to Source. And we are here to learn, to share, to nurture, and grow. And it's hard for us to admit that we have been so deeply deceived. We have been so wounded as a collective of humanity through lies and deceits, which brings us here to where we are today in 2022. And let's face it, it's messy everywhere you look. It's messy. And it's only through us acknowledging the mess. It is only through us for facing up to our own shadow, the own stuff that we've pressed down and repressed for fear of judgment, guilt, shame, all of that stuff. It is only through us that we begin to open again and heal, and to restore integrity and truth back into the experience of being divinely human. And that is what we are here for. That is what we are here for. One more card and then I'm going to go, because I am going to go out into nature. Bundle up in my snowsuit. It's cold outside. I look like it's summer with this tank top, and I'll just say one word, ladies: menopause. I had the neighbor say no more. Oh my gosh, this is so cute. And this one wanted to come too. So there's 2 more cards. Oh, I see why. Okay, so just to end off before we go, and please don't forget, let me know, is this something, would you be interested and open to some daily connections, some daily inspiration to lift and soothe your beautiful healing and opening more expansively heart? Let me know. We got lodge, and it says comfort, or no, it says counsel. Yeah, comfort. You know what I saw this as? A little mushroom. And I have a beautiful picture of a mushroom in my room that Frank took. But this is what I saw. And, now as I'm looking at it, it says council. And I'm feeling like this is like a sweat lodge, if you will. I always imagine myself living in a yurt. Uh, um, and this is what I feel. It's like going into the den of the Divine Mother and allowing us through our connection to be healed, allow ourselves to be restored, repaired, and replenished through this connection. Yet we must be willing not to isolate. And this is what we has really been pushed upon us from the external, is this isolate, 6 feet apart. Oh, nonsense. It's all bullshit. It's bullshit. Humans, we are tactile. We need connection. We need hugs. We need to see a smiling face. We need a touch, a healing touch. We need to see what do I want to say? The love emanating from another dear soul's eyes. So all of this other stuff that seeks to keep us apart, there's a purpose for that, because they know, the fallen ones, if you will, know that love cannot be controlled. Love is intended to support and grow all things and all living beings, and that includes you and I. Okay, and middle world. Through the purity of your heart, all ride to freedom. It begins and ends within the beat of your very own heart, the depth and the breath of your breath, the depth and expansiveness of your breath. We are free. We always have been. We've been conditioned to believe that there is an external source that knows better for you and I what is right for each of us. There is none above the source that resides within, the source that is eternal, that beats within our very own chest. Here now, in this now moment, our presence, our heart centered presence is the gift we are here to give and leave humanity. Because beyond this vessel of light, this meat suit, the flesh that is Lisa Lyle, only love lives, eternally so. So I thank you for being here now, all of you, whether you're watching this live, whether you connect with it at some other time. Please know messages of source exist beyond time and space, because time and space is only a human construct of the man-made egoic mind. In the spirit realms, time and space does not exist, and the eternal now moment is now being lived. I see you, I feel you, I thank you. I hope I haven't rambled on too much, and that you were able to receive some healing, some support, and inspiration that encourages you along your beautiful heart-centered well, heart-centered path, honoring your past, that you may now resurrect the light of the Christ that burns brightly within you. I see you, I feel you, I love you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hmm. Hmm. I don't know how to end this. It's my first live on YouTube. How do I end it? Hmm. Hmm. Okay. Well, I don't know. Oh, there we go. End stream. It just popped up. I was asking, and look, ask, seek, and ye shall receive. And I did. Take good care. Bye.